Didn't see you there. That was probably a really corny intro to some of you guys, but yeah. Hi. Sorry if I'm adjusting this a lot. It's been a while since I've done one of these. I haven't done a longer video on this channel in a while, so hold on, still adjusting some things, but how you guys doing? It's been a while since I've done one of these, and I kind of figured that I wanted to now because it's a slow-ass day where I'm at. We just had a snowstorm, so it's kind of a boring day as well. So I guess I just figured I'd give you guys an update. So I guess this is an I Want to Talk About video. I've been changing some of my video titles so it won't be called I Want to Talk About, but welcome back to I Want to Talk About, the series where I take a topic, I sit on camera, and I blabber about it, I guess. So as you guys know, as you guys have probably noticed, it's been 2 months since my last big long-form video, which was my 10 years later video, which was 59 minutes, so naturally I needed a break after that. But some of you may have noticed that usually at the end of the year I like to do a long-form videos on my albums that I didn't review in a given year, my favorite games of a given year, and my most anticipated games of the coming year. But I didn't do those as a longer video, or several longer videos. I did them as written posts on like my blogs, which I'll put those in the description if you didn't see them. And you may have also noticed that I didn't do longer videos on the recent Nintendo Direct Partner Showcase or the recent PlayStation State of Play, even though I usually do longer videos on gaming showcases and things like that, but I did them as short videos. So given that it's been a while, I thought it would be worthwhile to give you guys an update where I've been, what's been going on, what's the deal with longer videos, are they going away, am I gonna keep doing them, you know, yada yada yada, because, you know, I know not a lot of people really watch the longer videos, but I figured some of you do. A lot of you guys may have even come here because of those, and you guys deserve at least a little bit of an update, so I thought I would give you one. Before I do get too deep into the update though, I do want to say, since I haven't mentioned this in a video, this channel at the end of last year passed 1,000 subscribers, which to me is kind of crazy. I know that that might seem like a pretty small number because so many people have like millions of subscribers these days, but to me the fact that, you know, 1,000 people, you know, or 1,000 accounts actually care enough about my channel to be subscribed is kind of crazy. So thank you. I really appreciate that. That's one thing I want to say. And the other thing I want to say is Happy New Year. This is the first longer video that I'm doing in 2026. So because I haven't gotten to say it, I hope you guys had a nice holiday. I hope you guys are having an okay start to the new year. I know it's been a really chaotic start if you are reading the news at all, but I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves, being there for yourselves. My dog's barking, so I don't know if you guys hear it, but either way, yeah, I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I hope you guys are being there for yourselves and, you know, taking it easy. I'm sorry, I'm very distracted by my dog barking. I don't have a quiet house, so if you hear background noise, I apologize. But yeah, I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. That's something I really had to learn because I've talked about it many times, but last year, 2025, was by far the worst year of my life, I would say. So, you know, I've had to find some ways to be there for myself and stuff like that. Thankfully, this year's been off to a better start, but either way, I thought you guys deserve this update, so let's get into the meat and potatoes of this video, and it's going to be a possibly long one, so grab a blanket, make some hot chocolate. I was going to say grab a beer if you drink, but one, I don't drink, and two, it's too cold out. Get some hot chocolate. Maybe make yourself some mac and cheese or like a bowl of hot soup or something like that. Get yourself something warm to cuddle up with and watch as I blabber. So yeah, it's been almost 3 months since the last longer video. By the time this video goes up, I don't know when it's gonna go up. It might be 3 months. So why haven't there been any real long form videos over the last few months? Why have I been away from doing them? Because it's not like I've been away from content. If you guys follow the shorts, you know that I haven't stopped. If anything, I've been really busy with short form videos, which again, we'll get to that in a minute. But why have there not been any long form videos, and are they going away? Am I gonna stop doing them? Well, to quickly answer the last question first, Yes and no. No in the sense that I do have a couple ideas, like one or two for long form videos. I don't like to spoil my ideas, but I will say this one. I do want to do a longer video at some point on Frank Ocean's Nostalgia Ultra because this is an album that I missed during 10 Years Later, and I think it deserves its own video, so I'd like to do that at some point. But yes, in the sense that I can't see myself doing a lot more of them at this current moment, and there are a lot of reasons why I haven't been doing longer videos and why I probably will not be doing a ton of longer videos, at least for the foreseeable future. And there are like 5 major reasons, so let's not... I've been wasting a lot of time on this intro. Let's just get started with the reasons. The first reason why there haven't been many longer videos recently is because I've been sick. I kind of alluded in some of the longer videos to the fact that recently I've been feeling kind of physically off. And at a point, I think I just kind of realized it's because I was feeling a lot of stress at the end of last year, and that stress was manifesting in anxiety, which was then manifesting in physical symptoms. But that stress did actually lead me to getting kind of sick. Near the end of last year, I talked about it in some of the shorter videos, but I was dealing with this kind of weird fullness, let's say, in my ears. And recently I found out that it was a mild ear infection. So yeah, that was not fun. And the infection has cleared, as I learned from my doctor, but I still have like some fluid lingering around, and you know, I have to wait for that to drain. And because of that, because there's still kind of like a feeling in there, and because I still have to wait for it to drain, my head can feel heavy at some times. It makes me feel a little extra tired, and it can make the rest of my body feel tired by proxy because my head's tired. So yeah, I haven't had the energy to do longer videos because, you know, I don't want to sit in front of a camera chatting for half an hour to an hour when I'm feeling kind of tired. So that's one reason that I haven't been doing a lot of longer videos, because I was dealing with an ear infection and it was draining my energy. The second reason why I haven't been doing longer videos and why I might not be doing as many in the future is because I got my job back. In one of my longer videos, I did mention that last year I lost my job, and that was a big source of a lot of the stress and anxiety I was dealing with because not having any money coming in and stuff like that. As much as I would like YouTube to be my source of income, it's not at this given moment. Obviously, you know, part of that is in my control in terms of making content, but part of it's also out of my control because I can't tell the algorithm what to do. You know, I can ask people to like and subscribe, but I can't tell you to. I can't, you know, grab you by the neck and tell you to like and subscribe, you know, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be someone who's like, you know, forcing people to watch my content. If you like it, then I appreciate it, but if not, it's okay. So, you know, I had to spend the last 5 months, well, I had to spend August to December frantically searching for some kind of job, and I basically just got my old one back. And that, I think, obviously takes up a lot of my time now because I want to make sure I'm contributing to my job. I want to make sure I'm getting some money from my job. I'm a freelancer, so I want to make sure that I'm giving them what they need out of me, but also getting what I need as far as being able to make enough money to at least, like, you know, pay my rent. So that's reason number 2. I've been busy with work. Reason number 3 is that last year, obviously, as you know, I started doing film and video game videos as shorts alongside the music-related videos, and I think that kind of made some of the longer content a little bit redundant. Like, doing a longer video on my favorite games of 2025 felt a little bit redundant because I was like, I've reviewed some of these games, and, you know, I've basically given my opinion on them in the 2 to 3 minutes that a short takes, so what's the point in doing a longer video where I'm just repeating what I say in shorts, you know what I mean? So that's another thing. I think just moving to short content and enjoying doing short content kind of made some of my long form ideas feel a little redundant, which leads into number 4. The 4th reason why I haven't been doing as much is that I was really just kind of lacking and have been lacking inspiration for longer videos. Again, I still want to do that Nostalgia Ultra video, but I at one point had like a boatload of ideas for like future I want to talk about videos. Like, I had a list, like, maybe not this big, but like at least like 5, 6, 7, 8 ideas for longer videos that I wanted to do. But over time, I just kind of lost a lot of passion for some of these ideas. I mentioned when I did my video on my favorite, children's TV shows growing up, I mentioned maybe wanting to do a video on my favorite, like, licensed Flash games. And I had a bunch of them written down, and I was ready to do another, like, unscripted type video like I did with the children's TV shows. But I kind of just sat with it for a while, and I just kind of realized I'm not as excited about this idea as I thought I was. And then I looked across the other ideas I had for other videos, and I was just like, they don't really feel as exciting to me as I once thought they did. Again, the series is called I Want to Talk About. I have to want to talk about something to make a video on it. So when I started to feel a little less inspired, it kind of took away the motivation for longer videos. So there's that. And the fifth and final reason, and this is the reason I kind of feel, I guess, a little bit nervous to talk about, that I don't like to talk about, but in a way, longer videos, I think, have not felt as worth the effort, considering the amount of views they get, or lack thereof. And I don't like talking like this, because I don't like to be a YouTuber who talks a lot about views. Because I appreciate people who watch my videos. I don't want to do things for views. At the end of the day, my catchphrase that I say to myself all the time is 2 or 2 million. It doesn't matter if there's 2 people watching me or 2 million people watching me. At the end of the day, I just want to make things that I will be proud of, that people can enjoy, no matter how many people it is. And, I think that at the end of the day, what's more important to me is the creative process and enjoying the creative process. Not just in YouTube videos, but in everything I do, in my poetry and the things I write, just my art and content creation in general. But in a way, when it comes to views, combined with the ratio of the work it takes, I have to be a little bit realistic here. I hate to just pull out my phone here, but I'm just gonna do it for the sake of looking at, some views and stuff. When it comes to the longer videos, I mentioned the 10 years later video. 10 years later, last year was a video I was working on all year, because I was listening to the albums for 10 years later throughout the entire year, and I was writing the script throughout the entire year. It wasn't something where I just listened to them all and then at the end of the year just made a sum up. I was writing my entries on each album as the year went on, so the script was forming itself throughout the entire year. And then, I filmed the video that took, an hour and a half, it was a long session, and then editing it took days or maybe a week or however long it took. Video comes out, and as of the moment that I'm looking at the YouTube studio right now, it hasn't hit 100 views. And again, I'm not going to act ungrateful, I appreciate that even 99 people watch, but it's one of those things where I'm again, realistically, all that effort, and it didn't, pop. You know what I mean? Or again, I mentioned that video on my favorite cartoons and TV shows. That was a video I was planning for months before I actually dropped it. And, it was sitting around my computer for a while, but when I did start editing it, it took, weeks to really put it all together. And as of this point, it's sitting at 36 views, which, again, I have to be realistic, not because, oh my god, I need more views, oh my god, views, but more just because the amount of effort that I'm putting in, or was putting into the longer videos, just for them to not be seen by people, what it told me is just that people don't really care as much for the long form content. I'm sure there are some of you watching who do, and I appreciate that, but, at the end of the day, I have to be cognizant of what people care about. Meanwhile, if I look at the shorts, for example, not all of them are huge, but, I have had several shorts that got thousands of views, just as recently as a few weeks ago. Even, my short videos that I did on the latest Nintendo Direct or the latest State of Play, those videos got more views than pretty much any Nintendo Direct or State of Play video that I did in the long form style. And those videos, I can bang those out in probably an hour combined, filming and editing, and I'm just having more fun doing the shorter videos too. I think for me, sometimes I feel like I talk too long. You probably even noticed it in this video, oh my god, how long is he going on the intro? I feel like I blabber too much in the longer videos, so there's a lot more to cut down. Whereas with the shorter videos, there's a lot less fluff. So it's easier on me, less stressful on me, and clearly the interest is more in the shorter videos. And I think that's my thing. It's not so much that I'm thinking about views from the perspective of, from the ego, or from the number, or the feeling that I get of a bunch of views. I'm thinking of views from the perspective of, what do people want? What kind of videos do people want to see? What kind of videos does, you know, the dreaded algorithm want out of me? And it seems like it's shorter videos. And then combine that with what's more fun for me as a creator, the shorts or the longer videos? And at the moment, I think it's the shorts. Again, I also have to be real about this kind of stuff because, you know, in my time figuring out how much stress I was feeling, I have to find ways to manage my stress. And doing longer videos would add stress because it's a lot of effort. And, you know, as proud as I am of the final products, is it as fun or as exciting or as joyful as for me to sit in front of the camera and do a long form video as it was to do short videos? And honestly, not as much. So I think I just had to kind of be real with myself there and acknowledge that longer videos, you know, they can be fun, but it's not as fun to me as I once thought it was. And again, I have to be real with myself. I have to be cognizant of what it is that not only does my audience want to see, or what the YouTube or TikTok or Instagram audience in general wants to see, but also what I want to make and what's going to be best as far as being able to create content I can enjoy without feeling overly stressed or anxious or overwhelmed or burnt out, because I was dealing with a lot of burnout at the end of last year. So I had to find a lot of ways to manage that. If, you know, I was a, you know, full-time content creator, obviously this wouldn't be a problem. But again, I have to be realistic here. You know, I can't afford at this current moment to throw caution to the wind and only make content as far as YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. I have a job, I have to make money, I have rent to pay, you know. There are things that I want to do with myself and with my life. There are, you know, financial goals I want to hit. And, you know, as much as I want YouTube to be a platform I can make money off of at the moment, I don't. So because of that, I have to be realistic. You know, I can dream, I can believe, I can be as deluded as I want and be like, it's going to happen tomorrow. I'm going to wake up tomorrow morning, my videos are going to blow up. And, you know, that could. Again, life is crazy. You never know where you're going to be tomorrow, so who knows? Maybe this is the year that the videos blow up and somehow I manage to become a full-time content creator. But at the moment, as much as I can dream and as much as I can hope, I have to be real with myself, and I have to acknowledge that, you know, in some cases I have to focus on some other things other than longer videos. So at the moment, they're just kind of on the back burner for a variety of reasons. Putting everything together, it just kind of seemed like doing longer videos at the moment is just a little extra stress on my back that I really don't need. Not a good kind of stress or a good motivator or anything like that. It's just extra stress. So at the moment, I think longer videos are just kind of gonna be on vacation for a little bit. Again, I'm still going to do that Frank Ocean video at some point. Again, maybe I'll start writing the script as soon as tonight. Maybe I'll go back and just listen to the mixtape again and give it another look and all that good stuff. But other than that, I would say don't expect a lot of longer videos for at least a little while. I'm still going to do 10 years later. That's one that I will, like, I'll stick to that. I'm still writing, you know, this year's 10 years later video, and, you know, that's still going to happen come hell or high water. But don't expect me to be putting out, like, once a month long videos like I was doing or anything like that. If I do them, then I do them, and maybe I'll let you know in advance if I'm doing them. But right now, longer videos are going to be on something of a hiatus. It's going to be more of a, if I really feel like it, then I'm going to do it kind of thing, but don't expect a bunch of them. I guess because also the other thing I realized, you know, I was talking about some of the longer videos, I think to add to the point of managing stress, a lot of those longer videos, you know, the 10 years later video and the favorite childhood TV shows video, these were videos that were damn near an hour long. So of course I was adding stress to myself with that. I think that's another thing that I might have to just obviously consider when doing longer videos, and why I'm kind of putting them on hiatus is I need to find ways to make long videos without making them, you know, the length of a theatrical film. Something like this, as at least as of right now, my camera's telling me I've only been recording for 24 minutes. This isn't that bad, but I think if I was able to do videos at this length as opposed to an hour, then probably it wouldn't be so bad. And I think that's why I needed to pull back a little bit as well. So make that a sixth reason, but I think that's also why I needed to pull back. I was making the videos too big, and I just needed to pull back and, you know, take a breather. So for now, to those of you that are here for the longer videos, I'm sorry. Like, I do apologize. I know that there are at least some of you who do enjoy these longer videos, and, you know, I think there have been a few people who have been subscribed here that have straight up told me, like, you know, I don't really care as much for the shorts or whatever, and, you know, I understand. You know, it's not everyone's style. Some of you guys came here for the longer videos. Some of you came for, you know, the individual 10 years later videos. To those of you who are still here, I appreciate it, but if, you know, if you feel like you don't want to watch the videos anymore, I understand. I don't want to stop you. I apologize. I wish I could do more of these. I wish I could do content creation full time. It's just, I have to be realistic. It's not currently in the cards, but maybe sometime down the line. But at least right now, I have to be a little realistic with where I'm at in life. I have to, you know, focus on some other things at this current moment. And at the moment, longer videos aren't serving me, so I have to go toward the things that are, which are shorter videos. So yeah, you'll still be seeing me plenty. You know, this face is not leaving YouTube anytime soon. You're gonna still see some content out of me. Just don't expect it to be me sitting here in front of this camera yapping for half an hour to an hour or anything like that. I gotta kind of pull back a little bit. So yeah, I thought I'd make this quick update video. I hope it felt cohesive. Again, I didn't really have like a script, so to speak, so I hope it didn't just feel like, you know, odd rambling. I guess it kind of was, but I hope it still kind of felt cohesive in the end, and I hope it felt, you know, easy to understand. Thank you guys for, you know, continuing to support the channel even with all of the changes. Again, I know I make a lot of changes. Obviously, life is about change. I know that it's probably been kind of hectic, just life in general, but I appreciate those of you guys who are still here and still subscribe to the channel. Obviously, if you want to hit like and subscribe, of course, thanks. I don't want to push you guys to. I appreciate it if you want to stay here and watch more videos. If you don't, obviously understandable. More shorter videos are going to be coming soon. I can kind of spoil some of this stuff, but obviously, you know, this week, as of the time of filming, I don't know if the video is going to be up before this, but obviously this week, Bruno Mars is dropping his album. You know I'm going to be reviewing that. And Resident Evil Requiem comes out this week, so I'm going to be reviewing that. You bet your ass. Can't wait to play it. But yeah, longer videos, going to be in the background for a while. Sorry, I really do apologize if you guys were hoping to see more of these. At the moment, I'm going to do what I can to get this Frank Ocean video out. At least sitting here in front of the camera now felt a little more fun, so who knows, maybe if I randomly get some ideas, then we'll walk this video back entirely and I'll be like, nope, longer videos are coming back. But right now, I think whenever I get that Frank Ocean video done, that'll probably be the last longer video, at least for a while. At least until like the 10 years later video. So I apologize, but I appreciate those of you who have been understanding and have stuck with the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for your support. Again, thank you for helping me to hit 1,000 subscribers. Here's to several thousand more, hopefully. Again, I hope you guys are taking care of yourselves. I hope you guys are being easy on yourselves. Again, I know that life is really chaotic and really hectic. There's a lot going on at the moment, but I hope you guys are taking it easy on yourselves, emphasizing good self-care, not just, you know, buying bath bombs and stuff, just making sure that you're actually taking good care of yourselves physically and mentally. Stay safe, watch out for each other, you know, be there for your people, help them out as best as you can. And as always, I will see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be. Peace.